I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Hello. Welcome. Welcome to another video. Today is just gonna be... Today's just gonna be like a random day in the life. Today's just gonna be you and me hanging out. I've kind of been inspired to do this from Ashlyn. She's been doing these videos from time to time, and I'm kind of in between big projects at the moment. Things that are gonna take me a little while, and things that aren't gonna be out as soon as you know, we all would like. So I thought I would just take you along on one of my days off. So this morning what you saw was Ashley and I, we went to our little coffee shop, and we studied the Bible, and I read a little bit, and she editing a project at the moment. Gone with the Wind. Currently reading Margaret Mitchell's magnum opus. I am doing that for a big project. I'm filming a video. I can't give you the details. It will come. It's gonna take me a little bit. Channel updates. Man, guys, I know it has been... It's been a while since I posted regularly. There was a month hiatus. I just recently got my Throne of Glass reading vlog uploaded, so if you guys are even remotely interested in that series and you want to see my goofy reactions to reading the entire thing, please, please, please go check that video out. That took, gosh, guys, that took a long time to make. Please, just go check it out. Even if you don't care about Throne of Glass, you'll have a laugh. We all know what this channel's like. But there was a month-long break, and that was due to several things. The biggest thing was Ashlyn and I got sick. There was some bug running rampant through Utah. We got hit hard. Ashlyn, poor girl, more than me. But we were sick for a while, and so that gave me the opportunity to kind of finish reading Throne of Glass and doing all that stuff. I really, being that sick, I did not feel like filming. I did not feel like reading. I did not feel like updating, and so I apologize for that. And then after we got well, we went on vacation. So we were gone. And then when we got back, I had to get back into the swing of work. You know, a lot of things were changing there. I kind of had to readjust myself, get life kind of back on track. So that's why I've been absent for a long time. But I'm back. So, but up and coming projects. I think instead of telling you, I kind of want to show you the books associated with these videos. What do you say? So, I mean, starting off, yep, Gone with the Wind is the beginning of a project that I've been itching to do for a few months. Let me show you the other books that are involved in the same video. Ken Follett's Pillars of the Earth. Finally, right? Finally. I've had this book for how long? George R. R. Martin's A Dance with Dragons. I'll finally finish A Song of Ice and Fire. Next, also coupled in that project, is Stephen King's Under the Dome. Boy am I excited to get to this bad boy. I just finished a Stephen King novel, first 5-star read of the year, and I know this one's gonna be just as good. Yes. And the final book for this project is going to be Shogun by James Clavell. Oh my. Oh my. Oh, look at this chunky monkey. So what all do we got going on? So that is one video. Go ahead and try and make a guess. All right, next group of books should get it should get a lot of you excited. Sanderson himself to make an appearance on this channel. Mistborn. Now, I know a lot of you who have been itching and dying for me to read Sanderson. You guys want me to do it in publication order. I am going to be letting you down. I'm going to be straight up honest with you. The introduction that I want to Sanderson is Mistborn, and so this will be happening. This was also a poll I did in my community, and it was an overwhelming percentage of you wanted me to read this. Though the comments were screaming at me to do Robin Hobb, I'm still on the fence. I don't know which one I'm going to be doing first. Both will be making an appearance. The next group of books I'm actually really embarrassed to talk about, but this is part of a video that I'm so excited to upload because this is a joint effort. You could call it a collaboration. I am not doing this video alone, but yeah, yep, Twilight. I'm so embarrassed. Thankfully, I have already read these, and so that project should be getting wrapped up soon. This will not be a video that gets uploaded soon. It will probably be an April thing. Let me just say this. I did not read these of my own free will. I did not pick these for myself. I did not go one day, you know what, I think I want to read the Twilight Saga. This was something that was quite literally dumped in my lap. Thank you. You know who you are. Yeah, Twilight. So there's actually plenty of other books. Right now, I really, looking at the shelf, I cannot for the life of me remember some of the ideas. I have a ton of them written down, but I'm just gonna let you make some guesses. I'm back. February was a strange month. I want to get back to reading, so want to hang out for a little bit and read? I don't know how to do this normal vlog thing, but here we go. Gone with the Wind. I don't want to go into too much detail about that book because I kind of want to save that for the project it's meant for. But let's just say historical fiction, man, is so fun because you're getting real places and real events with just some fictional characters thrown in there. And it makes, I don't know, it kind of brings the era and the time and the places to life. Gone with the Wind, if you don't know anything about it, Gone with the Wind is set in the Civil War South in the 1860s. It ends up becoming one of the greatest love stories I hear ever written. It's classed up there with Romeo and Juliet. The characters are that unforgettable. And I see why. The way Margaret Mitchell writes, the way she kind of encapsulates what wartime Atlanta and rural northern Georgia was like, it's so refreshing coming from reading a lot of fantasy lately to coming back to something like this. It's just such a great change of pace. Right now, the main character is Scarlett O'Hara. If you haven't heard that name, well, she's famous and she's fake. She's not real. We follow Scarlett O'Hara. She's a 16-year-old girl who just is swept up in the revelry of being courted and wearing fine clothing and wanting to get married. And she just tries everything in her power to get the boy that she's in love with to reciprocate that and run off and get married with her. But it just doesn't work out. It just does not work out. And the turn of events that have happened so far, they've actually surprised me with what's gone on. And Margaret Mitchell has done an exceptional job with just making everything seem so realistic and bringing this fictional story in a real place and time come to life. And I'm enjoying every moment of it. I'm gonna catch up with you when I'm doing something else. Howdy doody! Welcome to the next portion of this video. To be honest, I've had the itch to play Minecraft. Ashlyn and I are actually on a server with our friend Shay and her husband. But right now, I really just feel like hopping on Minecraft, starting a new world, doing some stuff. I'm gonna do this while I listen to the audiobook of this. I don't really have an overwhelming desire to use the audiobook to make this, speed along, because I wanted to really take my time with it. There's something about, I don't know, how I feel right now. I don't want to rush books. I just want to take my time. And if that means that I'm not uploading like a consistent weekly vlog, then I think that's okay. I'd rather focus on quality than just pumping out content to pump it out, because that's when it becomes more of a job, and I don't want this to ever feel like a job. My head is chopped up. This book is so good. And this book is just so fascinating to me. I think that's one reason why I don't get bored with reading historical fiction, is because it transports you to places that I just don't know how to describe my love for this book already. Minecraft is going very well. Look at me, I'm gaming on my channel. Should I start a gaming channel? No, guys, honestly, if that's something you guys want to see, that'll probably never happen because Welcome back. It's been a few hours. I have been doing pretty much nothing. I read for a little bit longer. I played a little bit more Minecraft. I took me Shaq on a walk. That's pretty much it's pretty much been the last 2.5 hours. What I thought I could do, there's been some scenery changes in our apartment. I'm not gonna go into those details, but I thought I could update you on my bookshelf. So, shall we commence away with that? For sake of convenience, I'm gonna handheld this thing. If you can't tell, my shelves are in a little bit of an awkward situation. Enough said. Let us begin. So the top shelf, we got our Frank Herbert Dune, Wool, our beautiful Red Rising. Iron Gold's missing because it's right there on Ashlyn's TBR cart. Hopefully she draws that soon. Frickin' the first book in, what is it called? Sun Eater, Empire of Silence. We've got some fantasy, just because this was the most convenient place I could stuff them. And then we have actually a gift from one of you all, James S.A. Corey's first book in his Expanse. Underneath that, we have just like the classic fantasy shelf, I guess you could call it. Starting with my collection of J.R.R. Tolkien's incredible masterpieces, The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, and The Silmarillion. Next to that, we have my old, battered freaking Narnia set. Probably will never replace these. Next is my Harry Potter, yes. Harry Potter, Okay, next, just a random shelf with a bunch of fantasy on it. We've got Brian McClellan's Promise of Blood. Still haven't read it yet, but I'm excited to kind of dip my toes into this trilogy and this author. Next is all of my incredible Joe Abercrombie books. Every single one of these is a banger. No complaints here. Next, I have 2 trilogies. One on top is The Gentleman Bastards by Scott Lynch. One of you all sent me this. There was no note saying who, so I can't thank you personally, but oh my gosh, thank you so much. Underneath that is a trilogy by Nick Martell, very unknown trilogy. I've actually only read that first one, the top one, The Kingdom of Liars. I read that a few years ago. Thought it was a standalone until I found out it was not, that it is in fact a trilogy. This is known as The Legacy of the Mercenary Kings, I believe. Underneath that is just a hodgepodge shelf starting, Next, just a bunch of random stuff. Starting here with the Greenbone Saga books. What a great trilogy that is. I don't think I need to go into much explanation on what that is, but freaking fabulous. Underneath it, I have some big books that I just couldn't fit somewhere else. Ken Follett's Pillars of the Earth, Brandon Sanderson's The Way of Kings, which trust me, freaking Sanderson fans, I have not touched it yet, so don't worry. And then under that is actually a gift from one of you all. The Priority of the Orange Tree. I will be getting to that this year. What a beautiful gift that is. Gone with the Wind goes somewhere above or below Ken Follett. Next is another gift from you all. Kafka's The Castle. Excited to read that as soon as I can. Larry McMurtry's Dead Man's Walk. Richard Matheson's I Am Legend and Other Short Stories. One of my favorite books of all time, Richard Adams' Watership Down. Kimmy Cunningham Grant's The Silent Woods. Freaking Anthony Doerr's Cloud Cuckoo Land. Still haven't yet to read that book. I don't even know why I bought it. Mark Sullivan's Beneath the Scarlet Sky. Currently on the soft DNF right now. I just wanted to read some other things. Goodreads is lying to you folks. If it says that I read it, it is not true. I will be picking this back up some other time. Under that is Charles Frazier's Cold Mountain. I read this back in December. It was okay. Historical fiction, do you. Under that is The Coward by Stephen Aryan. That is actually not a standalone. It is a part of a duology. I actually have the second book, but for some reason the publisher decided to make the second book taller than the first one, so I refused to put the second book on the shelf. Actually, I still have yet to finish that book. It was a little slow at the beginning, softy enough. I'll get back to it. And then under that we have Kristen Hanna's The Great Alone. I have yet to read that, but it sounds incredible. And then we have Mr. Michael R. Miller's, I think this is going to be a 5-book series, but for now, this is the Songs of Chaos. Here we go. Okay, so first of all, these little guys. This is my TBR jar. Pretty much. It's like a goblet. It's got my little prompts in there. And then this little guy is the jar that I used for my bookstore challenge video. This will also be used for my library challenge videos. All right, this section is pretty much just fantasy. Wow, I didn't even mean to do that. On this side we have, Okay, this, yeah, what is this called? Freaking A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. I've only read the first book. I will be reading those next 2 books sometime this year. To be honest, I'm in no rush. That first one kind of finished off pretty well on its own, so part of me feels like I don't need to continue, but I definitely will continue. Next, we have the Bane of My Existence series. This is Steven Erikson's Malazan Book of the Fallen. This series is the most daunting task I've ever put myself through. Next, we have Anthony Ryan's Covenant of Steel trilogy. I've read The Pariah. I started The Martyr a long time ago. I think I got 10 chapters in, but ended up reading an Abercrombie book instead, so I will be returning to this trilogy this year. I may even reread The Pariah just to kind of get a refresher on what's going on. Yeah, put that back. Put that back. Next, we have one of my favorite shelves of all time. Starting with the granddaddy, we've got George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire. Underneath that, we have Andrzej Sapkowski's incredible Witcher saga. I have a secret love for this series. I don't know why I say secret. I actually have yet to finish it. I made it halfway through the 4th one, and I've yet to even touch the 5th. His writing gets a little lost in translation from Polish to English, and so it's kind of hard for me to follow along. But now that his writing isn't such a surprise, I may do a Witcher video. Let me know if you want to see a Witcher video on this channel. I may make one regardless. Just saying. Then we have the Farseer trilogy by Robin Hobb herself, the queen of fantasy. Excited to get into this. This is happening soon. Just know that. Next, we have, oh my gosh, we have Mark Lawrence's Prince of Thorns or Broken Empire trilogy. I know this gets a lot of hate, and I know Mark Lawrence is kind of a controversial fantasy author. I honestly really liked this trilogy. I thought the first book was overly grim for no reason. I thought the second book was exceptionally well done, and I think the third one, Emperor of Thorns, was a little hit and miss at some places, but overall, I think the trilogy is quite entertaining. I think it deserves a little bit more love. Next, we have Maurice Druillon's Accursed Kings. Again, Goodreads. People, if it says that I read The Iron King, disregard it. It is a softy enough because I have too many things going on. I hope finish The Iron King this month. And then next we have a fantasy standalone, as far as I'm aware, by DJ Moles called A Harvest of Ash and Blood. Let me just showcase, oh my gosh, let me just showcase this freaking bad boy. YouTube, booktok, show me your prettiest, show me your dopest freaking cover. And I haven't seen anyone on booktube even talk about it. Then again, I haven't watched booktube in quite a long time. Anyway. Oh, come on. Yep, next is one of my faves, bro. Next is one of my favorite shelves. At the top, we have Mr. Blake Crouch himself with his incredible science fiction-based thrillers. I mean, if anyone knows how much I love dark matter, Blake Crouch is an insanely good author. Underneath that, oh my gosh, can we just take a minute? John Gwynne. John Gwynne is the fetching man. All 7 of these books are extremely well done, especially these 4. I think The Faithful and the Fallen Quartet is just insanely good. Epic fantasy at its absolute best. The fact that this is a debut blows my mind, and he just seems to be getting better and better with each installment. Next to that, we have my Bernard Cornwell, one of my most treasured authors ever. These 3, the blue, white, and red books are part of the Warlord Chronicles, one of the greatest trilogies I've ever read in my life. All 3 of those books are 5 stars. Nothing can change my mind on that. They were perfect from start to finish. And then next to that, we have the first book in what's called the Grail Quest. And then next to that, we have Mr. Brando Stando himself. This was actually a gift. I forget. Somebody sent this to Ashlyn over the Christmas holidays. And so this was a gift to us, and both of us want to read this year. Mistborn coming soon. Don't you guys worry. The Stephen King books. And then, of course, a little bit of other stuff. But the Stephen King books. Oh my gosh. Starting down here, we have Duma Key, which is, I can't even go into it. This will be talked about in the wrap-up for this month. Just stay tuned for that. Duma Key blew my mind. Underneath Duma is one of my favorite series of all time. The Dark Tower. These were the first books I really read by Stephen King before I dipped my toe into anything else. I still think about this series. I still think about these characters. I still think about this story. Cannot wait to do a reread of this series. I think I'll do that sometime next year. Plus, there's so many other things that I have to read and so many other things that I gotta do. And so Dark Tower, just so good. Next to that, we have a bunch of, we have some horror standalones. We have Insomnia and Evil Things. Insomnia, again, Goodreads peeps. Did not read it. I got sick and Ashley and I went on vacation and Insomnia just kind of got put on the back burner. Goodreads says that I read it. I did not, but I will be. And then of course, the big baddie himself, The Stand. One of my favorite books I own. One of my favorite books I've ever read. The best book I read last year. Okay, sorry about these little jingles, man. It's just transition. And then finally, we have 11/22/63. Yes, I will be getting to this incredible sounding book sometime this year. How you doing? How you doing, lovely? You're scary. You're really, really scary. Gosh, what a great book. Holy crap, what a great book. Next, we have some, first of all, Mr. Mercedes. I am so excited to get into it, and it's two sequels. Pet Sematary. Wow, what can I say? Stephen King himself says that's the scariest book he's ever written, and it's one of the best Stephen King books I still have ever read. Fairy Tale. Oh my gosh, this has been on the shelf forever, and I just have not picked it up. Underneath that is a new edition, The Green Mile. Saw this in a Tampa Bay bookstore, and I was like, dude, gimme that right now. Freaking Desperation. This was actually a gift from my friend Shay. She bought this for me. I'm so excited to read it. And then underneath that is the big bad boy himself, Under the Dome. I mean, Steven, look at you, sir. Next to that is my Robert McCammon books, which is Swan Song, which was an incredible read. And then Boy's Life and Gone South. I still haven't read them yet, and then last but not least, this was also a gift from my friend Shay. James Clavell's Shogun. Yeah, I know it's the freaking show cover, but this is a very nice hardcover. I mean, gosh. That, folks, is my little library. Folks, it is hours later. Ashlyn and I, we kind of had a little movie night date. We had some dinner and played our solitaire game. I have not read any since last time I think I showed you. I read a good 30 pages today, almost 40, and I have a long ways to go. I have a long ways to go. Luckily, this is for another video. But folks, thank you so much. I know this is kind of new for the channel. Just something I kind of want to maybe start doing. Let me know if you enjoyed something like this. I like these kind of day vlogs, or I like the videos that I can film in a day and just have fun with. Just let me know what you thought. There's definitely going to be something more like this in the future. Folks, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sticking around. If you made it this long, you're a champion. That's all I got. I'll catch you in the next one.